Guys, how are you? What you got?
Just overall, what did you like, what didn't you like today?
Well, number one, we came out fairly healthy, so that to me is a huge positive. I think anytime that you end spring, you play your spring game, you don't want to lose anyone to a hamstring, to an ACL injury. So the fact that we walked off the field in one piece, both sides, is a good thing. We had a lot of guys out there today who really had not taken a ton of reps this spring. Our offensive line has been banged up really through the most of spring. So we had some kids out there who really was their first time or two running zone to the right and zone to the left and pass protecting. And so those guys battled very well, very proud of them. But some good, some bad. Made some big plays, also had some turnovers, missed some scoring opportunities. But overall, it's a good day. We're healthy, and now we're on to the next phase of getting ready for the next season.
Let's see the scrimmage previous Saturday, but I heard that Trey threw well in that one, and he and Nate both did. And today Trey is going to throw it even against the wind, a couple of really nice balls. Is his arm stronger? Has he just gotten stronger physically?
He has gotten stronger, and his body weight's heavier. He's a thicker kid than he was, not only the last year, but the year before that. Really with Trey, just getting him to relax and throw the ball, he's very good. What happens is he gets nervous, he grips the ball too tight, he overstrides, little things. He tries too hard, to be honest with you. But when that kid goes out with a smile on his face and just relaxes, he's capable of some very big things, as is the other guy as well. But Trey, again, to me, throws the ball very well when he can just relax and play.
How would you evaluate Nate's performance? He had a couple interceptions, although one was late in the half.
It was, that's right. And as coaches, I don't think we put him in a very good situation on that last drive towards the end of the first half. I thought he played well. Again, you have to understand the guys up front blocking for him aren't the guys he's been used to dealing with all spring. Young receivers, young backs, young tight ends. I mean, we had everybody intermixed today. So we knew it wasn't going to be perfect. We knew he was going to have to move in the pocket and scramble and make some shots. But to me, Nate's got a big-time arm. He's as confident with what we're doing as he's ever been. And I'm really expecting some big things from him in the next 2 years.
It seemed like he was really patient on that. I think it was like a 16-play, 87-yard drive. Now, maybe you had no intention of going downfield much, but it seemed like he really was restrained and just taking what was available.
That's right, and that we use that term a lot. Just take what the defense gives you. And to be honest with you, we didn't want to put some of those young linemen in bad situations. So trying to get the ball quickly out of his hands, trying to mix in some runs, maybe some bootlegs. But again, anytime you can manage a drive that long, I remember one of the coaches on the headphones saying, boy, this team's been on the field almost the whole quarter. And that's a great thing. Anytime your offense can put a drive together, to us, we use the word being consistent a lot. We need to be consistently a great offense. And when you can put long drives together, that shows some consistency.
What do you like out of the play of the offensive line that you've seen this spring? What have you really liked that they're doing well?
You know what, without saying one thing, what I really like is that we're getting younger players some experience. Again, that's been one area, one position where they've been down so far this spring. We don't have our top guys out there. We don't have our number one line. We haven't all spring. But, man, we have some young freshmen who are learning how to play, some young second-year players learning how to play. So it's hard to say maybe if they were maybe over physical or pass protection. I don't know if there's one area that they did really well. But, man, now we can go forward into the summer and show those young kids, here you are on film. Here's, again, zone to the right, zone to the left. Look what you did right, look what you did wrong. So now we go out in August, we can start chapter 2 and now get ready to take the next step.
Coach talks a lot about receivers making competitive plays. Dominique made a few today and has throughout spring. What have you seen from him, especially since he should still be in high school?
He should still be going to the senior prom. That's exactly right. I think he is going to the senior prom here in a week or two. Dominique Booth, for me, has been a pleasant surprise. He is humbled. He is hungry. He's very knowledgeable. To me, he's got tremendous hands. He'll make competitive plays. He's not scared. And I think anytime you bring a high school kid and you put him in here with kids who are 5 years older than he is, there's a chance you're going to be a little intimidated. And that kid has stepped up to the plate every single day, looked everyone square in the eye. Now, from his wide receiver skills, he still has a ton of learning to do. Dominique's a kid who really did not play wide receiver his whole career growing up. Really about maybe his high school career, they kind of put him at wide out and sort of let him go. So he has a ton of learning to do. from technique, being able to get in and out of his routes quicker. But man, he's hungry, he wants to learn, he wants to get better, he loves to compete. And a kid like him, he has so much pride, he expects to be on the field when we start our first game next fall.
How do you think Shane has responded to being kind of the guy in the receiving corps, both on and off the field?
Very well. And, you know, Shane's got that type of personality that a lot like Dominique Booth, he won't back down from anybody. He's 165, 170 pounds. He won't back down from anyone. So he doesn't care where we put him. Coach Johns, give me the ball. That's all he cares about. And so I think he's done really well. I think what I've tried to do as a receiver coach was get him out of his comfort zone, put him outside, make him learn something that he's never had to do before. Really force him to expand his game and his knowledge as a receiver. And I think he's done very well. You know, the one thing that as a coach I can't teach a kid to do is run fast. And Shane has that speed that you saw today. He can just run by people. And that's dangerous no matter where we put him.
One more for KJ.
Just from a personal standpoint, from what you saw today, from running backs or just really across the board, you know, were there guys that stood out to you and you looked at and said, hey, we might be able to use that. That's, you know, that guy might have a role here.
Yeah, boy, and you know, every time you do that, I'm probably going to leave somebody out. But I really like our running backs. I think even aside from Tevin, I think D'Angelo and Miles, those guys are bringing some bigger bodies, some toughness to that room, that when we want to go short yardage, we can bring in 2 and 3 extra running backs and pound the ball straight ahead. So I think that's going to be a new dimension we can use this year. I would say that's number one. Really pleased with some of the young wide receivers who are playing for the first time that none of you guys really know their name, but I've seen them consistently make plays all spring. Andre Booker jumps out to mind, Damon Graham, guys that, again, really haven't had huge roles, but I think next fall we're hoping for them to take another big step for us.
All right, thanks, KJ.
Got it.
Got
Thanks,
players
guys.
on the field.